Albuquerque Business Podcast. This is Jason Rigby, your host, and I have Dwayne Kinsley. Did I say your last name right?
You did.
Perfect. Yeah, there's some. I had one a lady the other day, and she had this. The street was Girard. Is there a street here in Albuquerque named Girard?
Yeah.
So, and I kept pronouncing it like something totally different because I'm from Seattle. So, it's all the names. But you'd think that would be a simple one.
We'll get you New Mexico here. We'll get you all the lingo. And
how long have you been in New Mexico, Dwayne?
pretty much all my life. Yeah. So I'm a local.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were born and raised here.
Well, not born here, but been here since a little kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a company, a retail store that's Sports Systems.
We do. Yeah. We're on Montgomery. We sell skis, bikes, snowboards, run stuff. Been in business 34 years. And kind of the reason for our podcast here was, what's happening at retail
Right.
everywhere.
The scary part of it.
The scary part, which is everyone knows this, when I tell people, the internet's putting retail out of business, and they go, yeah, I know. Every day I open the paper and read to see who's going out of business this week, because it's really that bad. And they're predicting another 8,000 retailers nationally to go out of business this year because of that. And there's 2 bike shops went out of business last couple of weeks. There's all kinds of different retail just in Albuquerque that we're losing. And that's due to what we call showrooming. People come into the store, they figure out what they want. They like to shop.
Right.
People go, hey, I went to the mall and I'm looking at all this clothing and it's busy. There's people everywhere. Dressing rooms are full of people. I go, yeah, but did you see the line at the cash register? No.
Right. Yes.
Because they figured out what they need, what size they need. Oh, yeah, this red is the right red for me. I'm going to go home and then find it cheaper online and buy it there.
Right.
And so it's been a problem. So when I'm talking to retailers now, because this process I'm going to describe to you, it's worked in our store. We're now selling to retailers all across Albuquerque and nationwide. It's powerful. So I tell a retailer it's going to do these things for your business. You're going to see record sales, record margins, record profits with this process. In fact, your profits will probably go up over 100%.
And this has happened in your store.
Yes.
Ski bike shop.
Yeah, we've proof of concept's not in question.
Right. I want people to know that because you've been operating this system for
2.5 years now.
2.5 years, yes.
So, and every year's been a record year from the previous. And actually, if I'm going to be honest with you, it's really not just a 100% increase for us. It's well over 300% increase in profit.
That's crazy.
I'm kind of reluctant to say that number because it's really, people can't wrap their head around an increase that big.
And what was happening? So that was 2.5 years. So before you started this process, how was your business doing? Were you breaking even or?
Well, we were getting ready to go back, but there's 2 more value propositions on there. I beat the internet 100% of the time, and I never price match. And when I tell retailers that last thing, their head blows up. They go, that's impossible. The only way you can compete with the internet is you need a price match.
Right.
And they think that's their only option. So a customer walks in, they go, hey, I can find this ski for $100 less online. I had 2 choices at that time. I either match that price and I'd sell you the ski, Jason, you'd buy it from me because you want to buy local.
Right. If
I'm the same as the internet. Or if I didn't, you'd leave and go, well, if that's a lot of money, I'm on a budget. I need to go save the money and I buy it online.
Yeah, if it's a skis,
exact same thing.
It's $600 at your $650 at your store, and then it's $450.
Yeah, online.
Online,
it's like,
yeah.
Wow, it's the exact same thing.
They may go to your store and look at it.
Yeah.
But once they see it's $450 on Amazon or wherever, then they're purchasing it elsewhere.
So if I can make all those things happen, people are intrigued. They go, how is this possible?
Yeah. So, as a business owner, I'm looking at it and saying, this doesn't even seem like it's true. There's got to be a catch,
There's got to be a catch.
Right.
So what we do is just to kind of talk about, the problem a little bit is that whole showrooming thing. So that was happening to me. And 3 years ago, I was like, wow, there's no way for me to be relevant. I can't compete. Every other customer is coming in and pulling their phone out and showing me some lower price somewhere that I had to turn around and match. And that's what I was doing. And after a while, I was like, wow, I'm still making sales. They're buying from me, but I can't survive on this margin. I'm losing half my margin on a lot of these sales, and I can't. And I saw my profitability going down to the point where I was going, man, it's just about ready to go negative.
Right.
So I had made the tough decision at that time to close. And I was the last one left. 15 years ago, I had 15 competitors, ski, snowboard, rental shops, cross-country stores, all gone. I'm the last one. So,
and you were actually looking at closing.
Yeah. And I was like,
wow,
this is amazing. I'm the last one and I can't make this work because the internet is just can sell for so much lower than me that I'm not relevant.
Right.
So I was looking at liquidation companies and trying to figure out how would I exit. So with that in mind, I was like, well, if I was to compete with the internet, how would I do it? So we totally way outside the box, nothing to lose, right?
Right.
Let's try this thing. I told my managers what my thought was, and they were looking at me like, Dwayne, bad idea. You're going to start telling people about the internet, and you're going to show them the lowest price. When you walk into our store today, a customer, we will show you the lowest price in the world right up front.
Yeah, and you use iPads.
We have iPads.
You have your sales staff.
Yeah, so we're looking at a ski, and I just say, let's just tell you a little bit about how this process works. So you come into my store, and I go, Jason, we're going to find the perfect ski for you today. And at the end of the sale, whatever you pick, we're going to go right onto our tablet here or your phone. We're going to look it up, Google it, find the cheapest price in the world, and we'll beat it. And as a customer, you're going, wow, that's great, because I want to buy it here. But and you don't have to be secretive. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to take a picture of it, maybe go home, find it for less, buy it there. So you come into my store, and after we pick the ski, we're going to look it up. Go, wow, let me look at all these places. Here's what Amazon is, Backcountry. This is what REI is selling it for. All these places, we can find it for you. And
that must be like weird for the customer, like in a good way, because it's like I could imagine walking in there and one of your sales staffs being, I think I saw the same ski at a cheaper price. Let me show you a better website.
Oh, well, when people,
you can almost,
when people are showrooming me, they
yes.
have their phone out and they're scanning something, and I walk up to them. I love the response and I can tell you the generational
they're almost
difference.
Like, yeah.
Well, someone my age,
right,
would be, oh, I'm sorry, putting the phone away, trying to hide it, like, oh, you busted me,
right,
showrooming. The younger customer, they don't even get that connection. They just turn the phone around and go, wow, look at this deal I can get on this ski right here. Right. They're showing it to me like, wow. Like I'm going to go, cool, you're an amazing internet shopper. They're kicking me at the same time showing me. So, but we just go up to them and say, even if they're not doing it, we will show them the cheapest deal in the world on whatever item they're looking at. A jacket, it could be a clothing piece, spikes, skis, whatever. It doesn't matter. And they're like, and we even scan it. We have a feature in there where we scan the barcode and boom, in 3 seconds, I can show you the 5 cheapest prices in the world on that item. They're looking at me like, why are you doing that? I go, let's just get that out of the way. We're going to beat it anyway.
That's the elephant in the room.
That's the elephant in the room.
And you're addressing that.
That's what my manager like. Please don't tell people that the internet exists. Maybe they don't know it exists,
which is fool's gold.
We shouldn't tell them,
right?
Where the cheap price is,
right?
Because that's crazy, Dwayne. Why would you do that? And then what we do is in the app or in our technology, we go, okay, well, Jason, that's $100 less online. If I could save you more than $100, would you buy it from me? And everyone says, well, of course I would. That's the most common answer I get. And I go, okay, let's show you how we do it. The way we're going to do it is we're going to show you all kinds of value. We're going to show you services, products, other things in here that you can pick to make up that $100 difference. The key is to only pick things you would have paid for, bought. Don't give me some hoodie or something I don't want. So at first people go, there's nothing else I want. If I did, I'd be picking it out and bringing it up. And then I turn the app around and go, hey, would you like a lift ticket to a ski area? You're going to ski, right, with these skis? They go, well, yeah. Oh, really? Or how about, do you want those bindings mounted on the skis? Yeah, let's pick that service. You demoed the ski last week. Why don't we refund that demo fee you paid? And we're just going through all these selections. Maybe there's a product. Hey, there's something I want on the product side. And then they're going through all these selections and going, wow, there's a lot of stuff here that I would have paid money for.
Services, I know you do bike tune-ups and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
They could do a bike tune-up. They could do services in other parts of the
Waxing,
store. Or and then we go, wow, I just gave you $120 to beat the $100 difference that you were going to spend money on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you went online to buy that ski for $100 less and you came into my store and paid for all these services separately and paid $150, did you save any money? No, you got a low price from the internet, but you end up spending more
because they're coming in and they have to get
all these things.
Yes.
And then I blow their mind with, hey, Jason, doesn't stop here. You'd have been happy with a price match, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is way better because I just beat the internet, saved you money. Then I'm going to show you all the value I'm going to give you in the future. free machine hot waxer, 20% off all your future services, the warranty. You spent some time with my guy. All that's valuable stuff. And we monetize all that and show you, hey, I give you another $200 worth of value in the future. And people leave the store going, wow, I got $300 worth of value to beat $100 difference.
Yeah, and I don't think business owners look at all the value locally that they're giving to a customer when they walk in their door.
Yeah.
They're just looking at the product.
I'll talk to a retailer and they'll go, well, I don't know what you're talking about in this value. I go, like when I was talking to you guys, I saw this big sign on the wall that said the quality, what do you call it? DeLorenzo Advantage.
Right.
And it had all these things that said free, no charge, well, all these things you get. And customers just kind of don't put any kind of value to that.
Right.
And then now you can say, this is what all these things are worth. If you bought that car or a product somewhere else and brought it in to get all that stuff, you'd have to pay for those things separately. You'd spend way more money.
Yeah, $1,100, $1,200 a lot of times.
So our technology, we keep it automatically keeps going till we win. No matter how cheap it is online, we just put the number in. And we go, okay, you're going to choose more stuff and get more value. And we're going to keep going until you get the best deal in the world.
But I want retailers that are listening to this, I want them to know you have not gone off the price of what you have in the store, which is full retail.
Right. So I sell everything. I haven't done a price match in over 2 years, ever. I don't hardly ever lose a deal on the internet. I probably close 95% of any kind of showrooming scenario on my floor today. Customers love it because they see how they win. And they can see how the retailer wins too. So it's a win-win for everyone. Usually people think, well, if it's good for the retailer, it must be bad for me.
Right.
There has to be someone losing in this transaction, and there's not. We're just showing our value monetarily against a low price somewhere else. And I just say, simply like I did before, Jason, if I could save you more than $100, would you buy it from me? And you said, yeah. And I show that to customers every single day. So as a retailer, that extra $100, that all dropped to my bottom line directly. And the services that I typically give away to beat that $100 difference are things I've done anyway.
You've done those for years.
I was already giving to you anyway.
Right.
There wasn't anything that it cost me extra to do this deal. I just demonstrated my value, and you said, that's great. I saved a bunch of money. And so imagine that extra chunk on every transaction drop into your bottom line. That's why, even though my sales might have only gone up 10, 15, 20% doing this, and it's doing that every year, my profitability went up exponentially because I don't have to discount. I'm making more now, profit-wise, than even before the internet existed. If someone gave me the option to have a big switch to turn the internet off, I'd say, please don't.
That's crazy.
In fact, we haven't leveled the playing field. We've tipped it so far in our favor, the internet cannot compete. There's nowhere they can go other than lowering their price, and I just simply add another little service.
But at some point they're operating on thin margins, but there's no care for the customer. There's nothing. There's nothing. It comes in a box. It can be, that's on some items that are, like something like that, like let's take a ski. It could be damaged. Then you got to go through a whole process. I don't know how Backcountry's process is for returns.
Yeah, they come in and they bought the wrong stuff.
Right.
And we're talking to them there at the service counter about, oh man, this doesn't work. This boot doesn't fit that. All the things that we experience, if it's everything from the porch pirate to the wrong stuff. There's a lot of things about the internet purchasing experience that isn't good.
I liked one of the things, and we'll get into this a little bit later on the environmental impact and the governor, because you were just with the governor yesterday. We'll get into that. But one of the things that we're talking about with this is the amount, you pointed out to me, and I never even realized the amount of cardboard in like shipping trucks with the gas and all that stuff by getting the environmental impact on.
So what we say is that, what we've been talking about is a solution for retailers, right? Everyone goes, okay, I can see this is good for retailers. But this is good for so many others. There's so many other wins here, stakeholders we call them. The city, the state, the charities. This is a green initiative. We'll talk about that next. So let's just talk about how buying local is green. I know how buying local helps dollars stay in my community, and that's a good thing. People understand the economic multiplier of that.
And before we get into green, Dwayne, because I want to stay with all of those multipliers on the city. So when we talk about City of Albuquerque specifically, you showed this to the city.
Yeah.
Because why would the city be so concerned that things stay local? And then number two, if you don't mind, What did the city say about this process?
Well, Tim Keller's a customer. He was coming in to get his skis tuned up. And he said, Dwayne, how's business? And this was 3 years ago when we had the worst winter in our history. I said, man, it's a terrible winter. And he goes, yeah, feel for you. But I'm having the best year financially in my history in the worst snow year. And he goes, how's that possible? I go, do you have 10 minutes and I can show you how that's happening? He goes, well, I have 5. And 45 minutes later, he goes, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. This is amazing. He goes, this is going to help me hire cops and fix potholes. I'm looking at him like, what do you mean? He goes, I'm losing millions of dollars to the internet. I go, well, isn't Amazon charging tax now? And he goes, yes, they are, but they're only charging the state portion. Amazon pays no tax to any city anywhere in the U.S., and most internet sales do not pay city tax. Because I'm losing millions of dollars.
So the states are the only ones making the money off of online sales with tax. Yeah.
Right. So he's going, man, I'm getting wiped out. In fact, I'm the face of the issue. I went and spoke to the mayor's conference, and I was written up in the New York Times about this issue. He goes, this is the answer. Can you imagine all the retailers in Albuquerque starting to do this process and sales starting to happen back in brick and mortar stores, not online? Because I'm not losing deals to the internet ever.
Right.
So all these sales happen through my store, and I'm paying that state or the state and the city portion. So we determined that if we could just move 10% of the online sales back to brick and mortar in Albuquerque, that would be $4.2 million of extra gross receipts tax to Albuquerque. How many more policemen and potholes can we fix?
Yes.
People go, okay, well, it's good. If I buy local, that helps my city. That's great. So we're working on some great partnerships with the city on how this could how they could partner with us on this initiative to get it out to as many retailers in Albuquerque as possible. Same thing with the state. State loves it. They're funding our new company because I formed a new company now. Because when we started doing this process in my store, the first time I used the app at one of my big sales, all my ski reps were there and they're going, that's unbelievable what you're doing right here. I heard a guy talking to his boss on the cell phone just a couple ski racks over, and I could hear him telling his boss, you won't believe what's happening at the store in Albuquerque. He's beating the internet every single time, sometimes big differences, and people love it. And he's closing every single sale. And so now the industry has seen this, and they're like, so they're a stakeholder too. So they're starting to value add back to retailers.
Yeah, I know. I think I saw one of the people with the North Face made a comment or something about it.
Yeah, the head guy at the North Face, global VP of sales, said, "This is the best thing I've ever seen to help specialty retail compete against the internet."
That's awesome.
And we have dozens of quotes like that from industry leaders in every category. They're blown away.
I like who was it? When you came and approached the state, they had the same thing that the city did. Weren't they saying this is like one of the best things that could happen? Yeah.
So what Alicia Keys quote? She's the economics, not the singer, but the cabinet secretary of economic development, and the governor said this is the best thing to ever come out of New Mexico. This is an amazing tool because they like tech startups in locally owned or started tech startups that they invest in that. So they're investing in us. But the product we sell strengthens other local retailers.
Right. Yes.
So our product also helps the whole community. And so they love that. And they're going, this is one of our priority companies to support. In fact, you might have saw yesterday in the State of the State address that the governor gave. She invited us. We were there, sitting right behind her in her speech, and she featured our company.
Oh, that's so awesome!
And talking about this cool thing that we're getting behind as a state to bring nationwide. So local retailers need to say this is going to be a thing. This is the way people are going to shop in the future, and you have the opportunity to be a early adopter like you guys are here at Quality Mazda.
Right.
I remember you saying, Dwayne, I think this is going to revolution the way cars are sold.
Yes, yeah, it will be. Just for the simple fact is, we give every dealership out there gives a ton of value, to the customers, but they don't ever, like the same with you, they don't ever have that ability to demonstrate it to the customer, to take the time. It's just kind of an afterthought while you're doing a sell. Oh, by the way, I'll give you this. It's almost used as a closing tool. Like, I'll give you this, I'll give you this,
or this no charge. So the customer puts no value to that.
Yes, exactly.
And he doesn't put any value to it until he's made the mistake of buying that low price car somewhere else and then having to come in and get all of those services and value later and pay for them. Wow, that low price didn't save me money. It cost me money. So when you can demonstrate that to a customer wins. That's what's great about this. Customers, I mean, we've done this thousands of times in our store, and they love it.
Well, it's even like, and that's something that you've shown us is even the intangible things. Like, for instance, if you go to Phoenix and buy a car real cheap, but you come to Quality Mazda and you look at that same vehicle, and then that Mazda product specialist takes you back to the service and then introduce you to somebody that is going to take over your vehicle for you and help you with service.
Yeah.
A service consultant. That right there alone, you know, to have that, and then they're going to give you a cell number that you can call or text. You know, how much is that worth? You know, when you're buying a vehicle, you're not going to get that in Phoenix.
No.
You can't. There's somebody you can't call or text if you have a problem with your vehicle. So
and people
you know, and you said we need to put that in the app. You know, like we need to make sure people know that that's available.
Yeah, all of these things are worth something to someone.
Yes.
It's their time. It's monetary. Hey, I didn't get this discount, or I didn't get this extra value. I didn't get this service that you were going to include. You know, monetize all those things, and then they can make a more educated choice on where am I going to save more money. You know, you and I, we're not going to have the lowest price.
Right.
But I can guarantee you I'm going to give you the best deal in the world every time. I'm going to save you money.
Right.
And ultimately, that's what we all want, is to save money.
Right.
It's not really about what the starting price is. It's about what I pay overall.
Yeah, but I think we're taking a risk when we purchase something online because we don't know the outcome of the sale.
Yeah.
Where locally, when you're dealing with somebody and they're a good company, you're going to have the ability to be hands-on with that sale.
Yeah.
So, you know, that gamble, the only reason we're taking the gamble is because of the price.
Yeah, well, they go, this is exactly the same thing as what I'm looking at here. I've gotten all the information and value from Mazda or from Sports Systems. I know what I need now. So, okay, well, now I'm going to go save money on this low price. But you don't save money. And when we show that, they pick us because they want to. If all things being equal, I'll always pick the local guy, right? Everyone says, Dwayne, I want to buy local, but I don't want to spend more.
Right.
If I can say buy local and save more every time. And so my customers that know how it works, they come in now and they just come in and go, oh, I got this new process. I go, oh, I know. That's why I'm here. Let's shop. Let me figure out what you need. I know you're going to pull the iPad out and you're going to show me the cheapest price in the world in this, whatever I'm picking, and beat it. I love it. And so,
but it works for any retailer.
Works for any retailer.
Like I'm thinking right now of a music shop. You know, if you're selling instruments, that there's a whole you could go online and buy that violin for your daughter.
Think about all the music shops, because we've been researching different industries that are gone.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I keep watching them, like back home where I'm from in Seattle. I had a friend of mine that had one and it's gone.
Yeah.
So
they're going, wow, you know, just because they got destroyed by the internet. But imagine in the future, there'll be music shops opening, camera shops opening, more ski shops, more of everything that you loved about little mom and pop shops that were experts in those fields that aren't around anymore. Now they'll be able to, we'll stabilize what's there now. They'll see increased profits. Remember, huge. If you're a retailer out there listening right now, you need to find out about this, because this will dramatically change your bottom line, no doubt. Then after that happens, you're going, wow, this is great. I'm stabilized. I'm going to be able to stay in business. Maybe I want to open a second location somewhere in town. Or someone that says, I'm thinking about opening a camera store and I didn't think it was possible with the internet. Now they're going, oh, I just found this new way to compete. I mean, like I said, we haven't leveled the playing field. We've tipped it so far in our favor that the internet can't compete.
Yeah, and
it's so fun. People love it because they go, wow. I love the pushback on Amazon. You know, so Amazon's like one of these things that people love and hate Amazon at the same time.
Right.
I love it for 2-day delivery. I like the big selection. I can save money. But man, I hate what it's doing to my local community. They don't pay tax. They treat their employees terrible. They're just a bad company. I hate the fact that I'm paying money to those guys.
Right.
Now they're going, hey, I can buy that same thing locally and save money. I don't need that anymore. You'll still buy stuff at Amazon. There'll still be things you'll want to buy.
Right.
You know, but there'll be a lot of things you'll say, I really want to go and find some expertise, and I want to talk to someone locally, and I want to support local. So helps our community, our state, our city. charities. There's even selections in the app where you can make a donation for part of your difference.
Yeah, because you have part of the difference because you're making up that difference with value. And one of those is that you could donate to a charity.
Yeah, so I like Animal Humane, right?
Right.
So I have that as a selection in my app. I mean, every retailer would just choose who they like.
Right.
And I give it an option to my customer. Would you, of that $100, would you like to use $10 or $15 of that as part of your difference as a donation? And I'll match it. I go, really?
Because you're doing that already.
You were
doing that already.
I'm already going to donate to them. Now,
Right.
now the donation is doubled because of your $15 and that guy's 50 and his 10.
Right.
So now people are going, great. I can get some services and product, and maybe I can help an organization that I like. And, you know, who supports local charities? Local businesses.
Yes, exactly.
So charities win. I mean, there's so many stakeholder wins here. There is one loser, by the way. His name's Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
He'll probably be all right.
He can handle a little bit loss. Yeah.
He'll probably be all right. He'll probably. I'm not thinking
I think
we're going
he's
to put him out of
the richest
business.
guy in the world, or pretty close, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, he is, and you know, maybe we make him half as rich as he is.
Yes,
but
exactly.
That's still a lot of.
I think his
billions.
ex-wife just did that.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna do what we're like his new ex-wife.
Yes, his best deal
we're
retailer.
gonna, yeah, we're going to take another chunk. But you know, we're all about really locally owned, smaller. We don't do chains. There's a lot of big national chains actually that have approached us that want it,
Right.
and that's a hard thing to say no to because they're huge. But we're really about what we want to rebuild and revitalize Main Street. So we really think that our process isn't just a solution for retailers. We think it's a solution for communities, that we're going to rebuild Main Street in communities. And that's why we have so many people supporting us, from mayors and governors and
Yeah, because you could take
industry
this and
folks.
reproduce this in any city.
in any city.
Right.
Yeah, so this is going to be a thing. This is going to be what people are going to buy in the future. So seek out people that do it. So seek out, come here to Quality Mazda. They're our first customer.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And, you're an innovator. You're going to be on the leading edge of how cars will be sold in the future. It's not easy, right? It's a cultural change. You don't.
Yeah, and I think that's something that people need to realize. I mean, it's a cultural change with your sales staff. So, that takes a process. I don't know how long it took you, if it was a couple months. But I feel like people nowadays, I hate to be blunt, but a lot of people look at things as heroin shots. That's what I call it. Like, okay, I could pay this amount of money, stick this in my business, squirt it in there, and next thing you know, boom, it's a process. And I imagine, I don't know how long did it take you before it started getting really implemented in your store?
Well, it is a process because it's and ours was an evolution of how does this work and how do we do it, and
you were creating it at the same time.
We were creating it. We didn't. There wasn't a roadmap. We were
Right.
like, well, what about this and what about that? And now we've got it dialed in. Basically, if you're a retailer, you just don't discount anymore.
Right.
There's no more price matching. That's one of our golden rules, is that once you implement this program, your price is a price. It doesn't mean you don't have sales.
Right.
Like when I remember looking at my financial statements after the first year, and I was looking at them going, I don't believe this number. I mean, I was really looking at it going, there's a mistake. This is way bigger than, this is twice what it was last year this month. How's that possible? And it was one of these unintended consequences. I developed the process to beat a low internet price, right? What I didn't realize is how that really affected my bottom line. And here's what happened. Is at the end of the ski season in March, all of my companies that have skis, they have MAP protection. That means minimum advertised price. You can't sell below this price. And so the online guys are the same as me. And then right when that price protection goes off, the internet guys, I got to be the lowest. If I'm $1 lower than that internet guy, I win. So they go right down to the thinnest margin possible. And so that 7-hour ski went to 400 overnight. And as a retailer, and all retailers around the country, the same thing. I go, well, let's go see what the internet's doing. I need to mark that ski at 400 to be competitive.
Yes.
Now I go, well, let's mark it at 500 because I can easily beat it with value.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, easy with the app. I'll set it $100 more. And so I'm making 10 to 15% more on all my age product, all the stuff that's on sale. So I go from 700 to 500, not 700 to 400. And when all that 10 to 15% drops to your bottom line, that single thing doubles your profit right there.
I like that. Yeah.
So once you've established your price, you never price match.
Right.
All you do is go, oh yeah, I can see that it's $100 less online. Let's beat that deal. And so shoes that I would put on sale for 40, 50% off now are 25% off. So, and in inline stuff, we still look it up. My staff goes, why should we look up something that we know isn't cheaper online? I go, does your customer believe that when you tell them that? They think everything's cheaper online.
Right, exactly.
Let's just look it up.
Right.
Look, it's the same price. But guess what, Jason? I'm going to give you another $200 worth of value with this purchase today, like you are with your car. Say they look up that car and you go, wow, everyone's got the same price as me. Well, good. You feel comfortable that you got the best deal, and you're going to go way beyond it and beat it by a whole bunch more with all the value you give. So you want everyone leaving your dealership going, I didn't have to negotiate. He looked up, it's very transparent, looked up and found me the best deal in the world. In fact, he found 2 places I could buy it for $1,000 less than what I was happy to pay because I saw it on TrueCar for this. And he showed me a better deal, and he beat it by a lot. Man, I feel great. And I didn't even have to negotiate. It was amazing experience. That's the way car buying will be in the future.
Right.
And, because people come in, I think in your world, learning your business, I'm amazed at how thin your margins are.
Right.
I make more on a mountain bike than you do on a car.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
but people don't realize
car dealerships have been their own worst enemy, because you when newspaper ads would come out in the 70s and 80s, they started the whole buy the car for $2,995,
Yeah.
Big X's, and they went to price back then.
Prices.
So all we did was when the internet went, we just reproduced that. The auto dealerships just reproduced what was happening, how they would do on the print and sending flyers in the mail. They just did the same thing online. So then it just created this cannibalization of these.
Yeah.
So it's
and
horrific.
So people believe, I think mad, and I'm thinking on your side, both sides are mad. The customer says, gosh, I thought he was making $10,000 on this car and he only gave me $2,000.
Right. Discount. Right.
And you're mad because you say, I just gave that guy my entire margin.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
And so he doesn't realize that. Everyone thinks they got a bad deal.
Right.
And now with this, everyone gets a good deal.
Yeah. See, that's amazing.
Everybody wins.
Right.
And no negotiating.
Right.
So, and that's what people really hate about the car buying experience. So I was just I show your app at my store and I go, this is how you should buy a car. And they look at that and go, that's the way I want to buy a car. That's amazing. Awesome. So that's you're going to start seeing people coming over from sports systems going, hey, I'm ready to buy a car, and I saw that you do best deal here. Let's look at cars, because most people aren't good negotiators, and
right, yeah, exactly. And people only buy vehicles every 3, 5, 7 years. So
yeah,
it's not something that I just think like there's this, like CarMax came in and decided to run these commercials against car dealerships, so they could sell more vehicles. But their profit margins are a lot higher than most dealerships. They're just because they don't go on price.
Yeah.
So, their price of the vehicle is the price of the vehicle. That's it. But they run the whole thing where they're not going to pressure you, where, we're going to give you a good deal. And this is something that's better than that.
It's better because
we're creating value too with the customer.
Yeah, I see the car buying experiences. It's you and we're Tesla the car and we're ready to negotiate. And there's a screen, and you're looking at the screen and you're peering around the screen at me, going, "Yeah, let me see. Let me go talk to my boss and see what kind of deal we can make you." And he's going to run out, and run back and forth. Now to where we're sitting side by side. You're coming over here, and we're looking at the screen and go, let me show you, because I'm your buddy. I'm your buddy in the car business.
Right.
I'm going to show you where the best deal is. We're figuring that out together, and now let's beat it.
Yeah, it's none of the back and forth, going back and forth, sales managers, all that stuff. Yeah. So I think, and it's the same with you. You can empower your sales staff.
Yeah.
They're sitting right there on the floor.
Yeah, they don't have to come to me.
Right, or go to the register or anything. That app is right there, and it's showing them to all.
And as a retailer, there's nothing your staff can do wrong. As long as it's a selectable item, that you've predetermined the values you have, the services or products that you want to put in there as value add. They just keep picking, and the app automatically, as you get closer and closer to being the internet, the choices pare down too. If I'm only $15 away, it's not going to show a $100 item anymore. It's only going to show $20 items. And as soon as they pick that last item, the app stops and says, you just got the best deal in the world. And then they go to the next page, which is all the additional value in the future. And so let's say you're a little skateboard shop or a dress store or whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever furniture. It can work in all kinds of places. Right. So you go into the tire store and you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look at tires. Oh, you can buy these Michelins for $1,000. And then you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look at tires. Oh, you can buy these Michelins for $1,000. And then you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look at tires. Oh, you can buy these Michelins for $1,000. And then you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look at tires. Oh, you can buy these Michelins for $1,000. And then you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look at tires. Oh, you can buy these Michelins for $1,000. And then you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look at tires. Oh, you can buy these Michelins for $1,000. And then you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look at tires. Oh, you can buy these Michelins for $1,000. And then you go, great. The reason I'm here is because you do this process. We're going to look let's look up and see what TireRack.com has them for.
Mm.
And they're going, right, great. It's $300 off. Go. Do you want me to mount them on your car? Yeah, $100. Balance 50.
Right.
And then what's cool is that we're talking about is maybe the barter bank, where maybe they can finish off that deal with a service from another local retailer.
Right, like a waxing of skis,
Like
or
you might finish off
oil
that
change.
You might finish off a car deal with some selections from me.
Right,
and get
exactly.
your bike tuned up, or I'm going to give away an oil change at my store. You're buying a jacket and there's a $50 difference.
Right.
Would you like an oil change? Well,
yeah, exactly.
Really? I can get that as my difference. All of us local retailers banding together to beat the internet with value, and the customers love it because they buy local, get a better deal.
Yeah, because I
It's
think
pretty
everybody deep down wants to buy local.
They do.
I mean, you feel good when you're helping a small business owner.
Yeah. So now the city might get behind an initiative, buy local initiative. Now you've heard all the slogans: keep it quirky, shop small,
Right.
all the things. But what all those slogans, the unwritten second half of that slogan is shop small, pay more. Keep it quirky, pay more.
Right.
That's what people view as buy local, pay more. Now it's shop local, save more.
Yes, exactly. That's the beautiful
keep it
part
quirky,
about this.
save more.
Right.
And people are like, oh, that's good. That's a win for me.
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
And so we've completely turned the paradigm around, and we're pretty excited about the future of retail with this, and how much we're going to change the whole retail community. And once there's a vibrant, small specialty or mom and pop kind of retail community thriving, your community thrives.
Yeah, the schools, the tax money goes to the schools. It goes to all of that. Like you said, police officers. That's needed here in Albuquerque.
And then you mentioned earlier on about how's this green, buying local.
Yes.
If you come into my store and you're buying a shoe, if you bought that, well, let's take it this way. If you bought that shoe online, it would come in a box. Your shoe box would be in a box, and there would be a box around that box and all the packing material.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine 100 shoes going to 100 different people in their homes. That's 100 boxes of trash, where if you bought it from me, I get it in big boxes,
right,
6 or 7 boxes with 100 shoes in it. The trash is a fraction if you buy local, because we don't have all that extra packing material.
Right.
So, and there's also not 100 UPS trucks going out with those 100 shoes to your house.
Yes, exactly.
There's one UPS truck coming to my store.
Right.
So all that carbon footprint is reduced tremendously by buying local. And we're telling people, just buy your shoe at a shoe store locally. Save more, and you're going to be helping your community. You're going to be green. You're going to help your charities. You're going to help rebuild Main Street. I mean, I can almost hear the angels singing up here.
No, yeah. Every time
but
I talk to him, I'm always thinking, like, could you imagine what would happen if there was a resurgence in small business in the United States? We are a powerhouse, but
I mean, I'm kind of talking big, like at this level, but I do that and I get so excited because everyone that's in these very influential positions, if I'm talking to an executive of the North Face or something like that, and I see them, their eyes go, oh my God, this is the answer, Dwayne. This is the answer. And I'm going, yeah, it is. We just got to get it out there. And it's not easy. So if I'm talking to a retailer right now, like I said, the cultural change that you're trying to do in your store, your Mazda store right now, it's not easy, right? Because it's completely different.
It's different. But like you said, people that you thought that wouldn't implement it are implementing it, and the people that you thought that would run with it right off the bat aren't. One of the things that I think the biggest thing that I'm finding is having enough training where the people are familiar with the app, where they don't feel embarrassed holding an iPad with the customer,
right?
To go over something. So other than that, the customer response is great.
Yeah.
The product is good, in that the value, we have a ton of value here. And I know a lot of businesses have different, like you have different value, but the biggest issue is the culture change and the training to make sure that there's accountability to be held. Because if you ask somebody, did you use the app and did you show the best deal to them, so that they get value, they look at it kind of like as an option. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And not as the
new way.
of
selling.
like this is the only way. So if I'm talking to a business owner, and you've been in this 3 years, so and I've just started it here. But if I'm talking to a business owner, I would be like, you've got to embrace it 100%.
Yeah, it's
and
all
you have
in.
to get behind it, and you have to take the vision to and to show them that they can make, because once we're in it first month, but once they start seeing, their gross profits going up, not only the store, but once they see then their sales commission, profits go, then they're going to be like, wow, I use this app for 10 minutes, and then I made this much.
Yeah, my sales staff across the board, if it's management or whatever, we're so profitable now that it's fun again to be in retail. I'm renovating the building. I'm buying assets. We're investing in promotions and advertising. We're giving people raises.
I know. I've been seeing your sports systems on the buses.
Yeah.
You got like a whole, didn't you have a side of one or something?
We got 3 or 4 of them running around.
Yeah.
And you'll see the IT campaign, which talks about what this is, which is it. It's hard to explain it in elevator or a 30-second ad. So what we try to get people to do is go find it, find out how, who uses it.
Right.
Quality Mazda has it.
Right.
And then we want people to experience it either by going to our website to see a video on how it actually works, or in person at a store that has it. So I envision here in the next 6 months that we might have a dozen or 2 dozen local retailers doing it. And then it becomes a lot easier, because if someone comes into your Mazda store and goes, I already know how it works, that's why I'm here.
Yes.
It's easy to do.
Exactly. Yep.
If a customer comes in and says, I don't know what you're talking about, this is something completely new, that's a little more challenging, because you have to educate them on what this is and how it's good for them. But once they know, and if we have 20 retailers all in town doing it together, then I only have to educate 1/20th of the population, not all of them.
Yes, exactly.
And also the people listening to this right now, there's going to be another few thousand people that are going to go, oh, I know how this works.
Right.
If they come into your dealership, my store, it's easy for my sales staff to do, because they're coming because they go, wow, I heard about this amazing new process. I want to do it here. It's easy to do. But so it's those early adopters that.
So what if you have a local business owner, especially here in Albuquerque, and they say this would work perfect. I'm really excited about this. What would be a next step? Because I know you have a process. I mean, obviously you're going to see if because it's not going to work for everyone.
So say there's a retailer out there now that says, man, this sounds intriguing. I want to learn more.
Right.
You can reach out to us. You can go to our website, seetheit.com, and then see a little bit about it. And then reach out to us, and we'll if you contact us, we'll build a little mock app of your business, because people really feel it when they see it in real life.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
How it would work for them.
Right.
So we're building all these different, apps, if it's jewelry or motorcycle shops or, tire stores, all these different industries. And we'll come to yours and say, this is how we see it working in your store. And then if they say, yep, I'm in, I want to do it. So there's a monthly subscription based on the size of your company. It's very, very nominal. And then there's a transaction fee. So if I saved you $100, my pitch is this: what does it cost? I said, Jason, if I can make you $100 down to your bottom line, would you pay me 10? So our whole revenue stream, our concept is based on performance. If I make you money, you're going to pay me a dime. For every dollar I make, would you pay me a dime? People are like, yeah. So it's very the barrier is very low, and then we build a custom app to you, your logos, your services, your products. We talk to your team. We figure out what's going to work for you and the way you do business. You don't have to change the way you do business.
Right.
You don't even need new customers.
No,
you're just going to make more money on the ones that are coming in now. You're just saving the ones you have now, and then over time you'll gain customers, because all that market share from the internet is coming back to me. I've seen a huge increase. Over $1 million of increased sales over the last 3 years, of now slowly recapturing that internet purchaser that I was losing.
Right.
It's coming back, and I'm making more margin on each one, and the customer wins too. At the same
so
time.
you're actually getting loyalty.
Yeah.
So they're not just buying a pair of skis and then turning around and 2 or 3 years later, when they're looking at a mountain bike, they buy it online. They're actually coming to you, and you're seeing repeat.
Yeah.
Customers.
And the other part of our experience, our slogan says, best of online in store. I go, what does that mean? What do people like about the online experience? They like it for low price. Well, I just explained how I beat that. They like it for selection. They like it for information. They like it for convenience.
Mm-hmm.
I do all of that today in my store. So let's talk about those other components. They go, well, what do you mean by selection? Well, like on skis, there's a site called Evo. It's like the Amazon for skis. They have 600 models. I have 50. That's a lot, 50 for a store.
Yes.
But they have 600. I go, great. Let's just bring up Evo on the iPad, and then we use it as a sales tool on my sales floor. Let's put those two skis you're thinking about side by side and look at all the information about it. Oh, that's great. All the information's right here.
So you can narrow them down to a ski that you have.
Or
because they may not,
or
by
even
going
one,
online, they may not even realize that may be the ski for them.
Or maybe even one I don't have,
right,
but that I can get. And they go, yeah, well, I think that's the ski I want. I go, well, I don't have that one. And they go, okay. Well, then I jump over to my B2B site right then, within seconds. And I go, look, they've got that ski in stock. Do you want me to order it for you? I can get it as fast as the internet can. And they're like, wow, really? Oh, well, I live out in Grants. Well, some of my vendors, why don't we drop ship it to you? So is there anything about the internet experience that I didn't just deliver right there?
Yeah, you did it.
Information, selection, convenience, best price, best deal.
Right.
And they're going, why would I buy anything online? I go, exactly.
Right.
And so now we're not scared of the internet. We use the internet. We call it reverse showrooming, where we use their sites to sell our products.
You better copyright that word.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty.
Do that before the podcast comes out.
It's pretty funny because I was talking to a guy that works for one of these big internet sites, and
right.
And I saw him. I go, man, I love that product comparison feature you have. I use it every day on the sales floor, and he's like, well, I go, how much did you spend on that site? Like a couple $1 million? He goes, oh yeah, I got 50 employees. I go, thank you. It's awesome.
Yes.
And he's going, well, that's BS. You shouldn't use our site like that. I go, that's funny. You've been using me as a showroom for the last 15 years to sell your products. I'm now using your information to sell mine.
Yep, exactly.
And why do retailers not do that today? Because they don't want you to see that low price that they have. And I go,
yes.
And they go, oh, well, I noticed that ski you picked for me that I'm now ordering is $100 less online. Well, no problem. Flip to the app, put the numbers in, beat the deal. And people go, oh my God, this is amazing. So we're changing the whole customer experience, information, technology, the personalized expertise. Let's get the right product for you, narrow it down. You're not limited just to selection you might have. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Well, you know what's so amazing about it is the ability for you to be able to be a small business owner and then make that decision to say, here's what I'm going to do. And then to have the creative power and execute and implement and then see it work. And now you're on this cusp of changing retail.
We are.
And it's going to be Sports Systems out of Albuquerque.
Yes. It's something coming out of Albuquerque or New Mexico that we're going to be the first on a list, right?
Yes.
We're going to be first on a list. That's a good one.
Yes, there's wins all the way around.
Of the innovation that's going to come out of this city
with
all the partnerships we're developing in this city with mayors and governors, and we're going to bring the same model and footprint and go to the next city.
Right.
And go, this is what worked in Albuquerque, and we'll start with the mayor. The mayor of Phoenix. Go, hey, would you like to have this in your city? Why don't you call our mayor and ask him what it did for Albuquerque? And he's going, oh. And then we just go city to city, and we'll start expanding this all around the country. And right now we're expanding it through the Ski and Snowboard channel. We're going next week to the Outdoor Retailer Show in Denver, and we're going to introduce this. We just sent an email out yesterday, and the open rate was unbelievable. I mean, I looked at it and went, oh, no, we got a 10 by 10 booth there. We're going to get overrun by press and people wanting to find out about this process.
That's going to be so great. Yeah.
And we'll start selling it to ski and snowboard shops all across the country starting next week, and to local retail. So anyone out there listening to this now, reach out to us, and we'll start talking to you about implementing, because we want to get as many different kinds of retailers in Albuquerque as possible. But it's kind of a two-way thing. When you're an early adopter, you have to be kind of all in, like you said. I'm going to be handing you a machete. I think I might have used an analogy with you and said, hey, there's a pot of gold at the other side of this jungle, but there's no road.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Here's a machete.
Somebody needs to look at it that way.
It's a little more work for the first few.
Right.
But if you're that guy and you're an early adopter, it's going to be very rewarding because you'll be the first in your industry to do this. And your whole industry will be looking at you to say, that's amazing. How did it work for you? And you'll be an innovator.
That's awesome.
With us.
Because you could use it for anything, whether it's a dental office, chiropractor office.
It works better when there's a product involved
right.
that can be bought somewhere else
right.
cheaper. But there are a lot of uses that are coming to us that we're going, oh yeah, it might work for that. Maybe a financial industry or insurance or places where they buy stuff online.
As you start, this thing could snowball into something that's amazing,
Yeah, I show it to people just because they're friends that come in my store and I show them what we're doing and they go, oh, I wonder how I can use that. I mean, everyone wants to figure out how they can use it. Everyone wants to figure out how to be a part of it. This bandwagon's going and everyone's trying to figure out how do I jump on this bandwagon? It's really funny. If they're wealthy, the question I always get is, do you need investors?
Right.
If they have a certain kind of industry, they go, I wonder how I could use this to add value and give a better deal to my customer. So we don't know where this is going to go, but we know right now it's going to be a huge thing. And we're looking for those guys that I can hand a machete to and say, hey, let's forge a trail through this jungle to get to into that rainbow.
What is I want everybody to know, because I know there's people out there that are listening thinking, oh, this sounds interesting. This would be awesome. I think I could do this. I could take the machete. What is your website again?
SeeTheIt.com.
So it's CSEE, and then the THE, and then IT.com.
Yes.
And then in there's a contact page or whatever,
and they can reach out to us. Of course, we're at Sports Systems. If they want to come in the store and kind of experience it, firsthand, they can see, come in and talk to us, and we'll go, well, let's walk right over here. There's one going on right now, right there. And they can see kind of how it works. Talk to the staff, see how they felt when they first used it. How do they feel now?
Right.
How much fun are they doing using this? How much more commission are they making using it? It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we've been talking for an hour. So
I know.
It's a go
like you
so
said,
quick.
It does go quick.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Dwayne. I appreciate it. Thank you for helping small businesses. And I know it's going to be more than here in Albuquerque. That I know once you go see the snow peeps at that booth, that's going to, because you're mirroring that exactly.
Yes.
So that's going to 10X across the United States with that. So that'll be fun. Yeah. At the booth, you'll have to let me know how that goes. But I want people to go to seetheit.com.
Yeah.
And then from there, if they feel like they could be a part of it, then you guys will interview them and then go in that process, and they could be one of the early adopters here in Albuquerque.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thanks, Dwayne. Appreciate it.